Welcome to the very first and hopefully not the last inaugural episode. I want to crack some champagne bottles over my head to kind of baptize this whole thing. This is What Are You Playing Now? And it's basically a podcast that talks about, well, the games you're playing now. And just a little backstory on how this came to be. When I first started doing the YouTube channel, like a serendipity, I had some free time, and it just so happens there was an event called Indie Arcade. And I almost didn't go because of mental health reasons and stuff. I just didn't want to leave the house. But I pushed myself because there was some indie game devs there that I actually knew their games, and one of them I actually had on the Switch. And so I had to go check it out. And I did. And when I got there, I realized I had no game plan. I had no idea what I was doing. But I had always been told, the thing about starting a YouTube channel is you just go with it. You go with the moment. You go with the equipment you have. You can over-plan and over-equip yourself and be left spinning your wheels and running in place forever. And honestly, the very first video I did was kind of the same way, and that was for the SNES Classic Mini, whatever you want to call it, at Walmart, the launch, which was a lot of fun. But then after that, I didn't have a lot because I was doing exactly that. I was trying to figure out what was the next step and all this kind of stuff. And there's so much planning and so little doing. So I went to this thing, and the one thing that came to mind was that I wanted to know, you often hear in interviews leading questions about a game. Like, so this game plays a lot like this game plays a lot like, let's say, Super Mario Brothers. Is that what this is? Was you inspired by Super Mario Brothers? And it's so specific and it's so limiting, and a lot of times it pigeonholes the developer into answering the question, perhaps not in a way he wanted to, or it was difficult. So instead, I was like, well, these guys have to have multiple influences. I mean, they didn't grow up with one game. They grew up influenced by a multitude of games across many platforms and different genres. So that became the question. I asked first for games that inspired them. I can't remember if it was initially 3 or 5, but I would ask them for which games inspired them. Which games do they remember having such an impact on them when they first played them that it kind of changed the way they looked at video games and perhaps led them to this career. And then the second question was, going forward, now that you've become a developer and everything, let's find out what developers play. What are you playing now? And that's pretty much how I did it too. It was very much like an MTV Cribs style kind of thing, where I had the handheld cam, because I just had the Mighty Mighty Vlog Stick. In fact, I still have my Mighty Mighty Vlog Stick. This is where it all began, folks. Yeah, the whole. Please subscribe. But it's been a long journey, and it started out right there, very humble beginnings, and so I had this vlog stick, and I have very short arms, so I tried to get the camera out as far as I could. I had one person tell me, this is also the person that said that a lot of my video content was absolute crap, and the audio was crap, and this was stuff that I hadn't yet put up, and stuff that had already been put up, and he was like, I personally wouldn't do it. And it hurt, but he wasn't wrong necessarily. It's just that I didn't. It's like saying, this soup is too salty and I have no other food, so I'm going to throw it out. No, you do your best. You maybe add a little water, maybe add a little something else, or you have some bread with it. But you make do and you make it happen because this is what you have, You don't just throw it out. That's a waste. And I felt the same way about the footage I had. So, at any rate, that's how it all came together. And it's very raw, and it was a lot more in your face than I had originally wanted to, just because of the length of my arm and the equipment I had. So
that is not what I thought you meant by in your face. Well, it's a lot more in your face than I wanted it to be.
Think about it. I'm trying to hold this out and get both of us in frame you know, and I'm moving, and because it's on the left side to free up this space for them, it's like me first, and like this dude told me that it was creepy, and I seemed like a narcissist. I'm like, so in other words, what you're saying is you completely don't get what just happened there or what was going on, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's go with creepy narcissist anyway. That's the hell. Anyway, so I digress. Sort of, but not really. It's kind of the point of explaining where this all came from. So now I want to kind of do this for myself and for my friends, including my fellow content creator, fellow YouTuber, all around great human being, Sean from the Major Losars. I'll have the link down, and you know, like and subscribe, and
this is no longer our logo, thing. But this.
Yeah, that's. It looks like I'm looking at Darth Vader's helmet, man. I can't see it because of the lighting. There it is. There it is. It still looks like Darth Vader's helmet, but it looks like you got a tattoo. So that's cool. Darth Vader totally supports you. That's a good endorsement.
Yes. Hello. Hi. I'm here.
Yeah. So that's Sean, and so I'm gonna ask what. But this is. It's not just what we're playing now. This is kind of a retrospective. It just kind of. Last year was an ugly, ugly thing, and let's be honest, 2021 kind of just kicked things off by saying, hold my beer.
Yeah, it's 2021 so far is just like, it Kool-Aid man through the year gap, it is just like, alright,
honestly and objectively, if you look at it, just step back for a second, the first couple of months of 2021 are really comparatively far more insane than the first couple of months of 2020. 2020 didn't get started until like March.
Yeah, for real.
So we're already up and running, and you know, we could talk about all the other crap that's going on this year, but I'd rather not. What I'd rather talk about is so this is about the games that help make us, the games, and I guess anything that kind of the comfort food of games, like if games were mac and cheese or mashed potatoes and gravy.
Oh, don't do that to me. I haven't had lunch. Oh, no.
Or, you know, grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup. That sort of thing.
It.
That sort of thing. If they were the comfort food that got you through 2020, what would those games be? What did that look like? What did you end up doing? And maybe not even just games. We could touch on some other things. But, for instance, I'll let you kind of kick things off and talk about your 2020 a little bit if you'd like.
Well, 2020 was, it was nuts. I honestly don't know if I brought this up on our channel, but right at the start of quarantine, I was working at a grocery store. It was actually like my favorite job that I've ever had, was this grocery store.
I remember that.
I get super claustrophobic when there's something on or around my face, and I also, like, thanks to my anxiety about the goings-on of 2020 and everything in it, I also cannot leave the house without wearing a mask, without having panic attacks. So it's kind of a double-edged sword for me. So I haven't been working since last March, and it's definitely given me a lot of time to focus on the YouTube channel, focus on bettering our content and everything else. But yeah, that's kind of the biggest event of 2020 that happened for me, is like we just hit the ground running, got the best job that I've ever had, and then immediately in like a week before my birthday, it was like, yeah, no, you don't get to work there. So
that sucks.
Yeah. But that being said, though, 2020 has given me a lot of time to figure out stuff for me, figure out stuff for the channel, like I said, even 2021 here. And it's given me a lot of spare time to game and, you know, find those games that are the grilled cheese and tomato soup of gaming for me. So should I just kick it off with one of those games?
Yeah, why not?
Just to bring it up?
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
One game that I found before 2020, I think I first downloaded it in like 2019, but it's definitely helped here in 2020, is House Flipper.
I have no idea what that is, but it sounds like a show on the
like HGTV
network. Yeah, or HGTV.
Yeah. Yeah, there's actually HGTV and them partnered up last year for a new DLC pack, which is great. I love it. But the point of so house flipper, it's just that you buy houses, you renovate them, and you sell them. That's the whole point of the game. I've always had a like a budding interest in interior design. I love those HGTV shows. And honestly, you get yourself a TML mug of tea, and then you I'm sorry, I had to do it. You, you get yourself a mug of tea, you put on some music, and you just start tearing down walls, painting, and everything. It's just really relaxing, and it has helped me.
Sounds
so
amazingly
much.
relaxing, and I would like to invite you over to help me with the studio. We'll take turns.
Digitally, it's really digitally relaxing.
Okay. Damn it. Whoa. Whoa. So, one thing about speaking of this video, the floor is still very uneven because that's the way our house is, and the wheels don't lock on my chair. So, this happens.
Get yourself a carpet. It's what I did.
I am like human Joy-Con drift.
Bye-bye.
So, but yeah. So okay. So for me, this whole thing, the 2020 just kicked off in the wildest way. I had some insider information from people that there was a lockdown coming before it happened. So I kind of disseminated that as much as I could to people. And people were already making runs on the markets and stuff. Not the stock market, but rather the food market. Mm-hmm. So I went and took care of my family. I didn't hoard or anything like that. I just knew what we needed for a week or two. And I did that, and I got back, and the announcement came out. And honestly, from that point on, I have several underlying health conditions. I am definitely in the at-risk category. I line up with like 5 of the different things that raise your risk level for both getting it and severe illness, etc. So I took this very seriously, and I have done everything that I possibly could to stay safe. And my wife as well. And she actually ended up closing up her business and working remotely and doing telehealth and that sort of thing. So she's been at home. It's been kind of difficult to do this sort of thing. And also YouTube stuff, because I have to do it at like 1 a.m. because with COVID, everybody's sleep patterns are all borked too. Everybody's staying up like till like when my wife and daughter used to be in bed by 10 or 11 o'clock, they'd be upstairs, and then I could start doing something. Now it's like 1 o'clock before I can even think about doing something, and by then I have insomnia, but I'm still so exhausted that my brain isn't working. So that got difficult. So I did play a lot of relaxing games to kind of deal with my anxiety and deal with my mental health and stuff like that, as many people have had to do.
Yeah, something that I started in 2020, melatonin.
I have yet to start that, but
I've
taken it under advisement.
Yeah, I got prescribed melatonin a long time ago, and it gave me like really, really bad migraines.
See, and that's what I was afraid of, actually, because I had heard that, and I'm already prone to migraines from a lot of different medications. Yeah. For some reason, a lot of meds mess with my neurology and with my vascular crap. So
the gummies, I've been taking the gummies. The gummies aren't bad, but
cool.
But yeah.
So
no, you want to talk about sleep schedules getting screwed up? Right in May, it was like my daily schedule became 24 hours and like 15 minutes, because every day I'd be like going to bed and waking up like 15 minutes later. It got to the point where like everyone was waking up as I was going to bed, and then my mom would be going to bed about 7:30, and I'd be like, all right, time to start the day.
Yeah, no, it's really messed with everybody. But my they kind of aligned my brain by playing certain games, and the first one, the biggest one for me, that's not going to be a surprise, because it has been for so many people, and it's really helped a video game giant kind of crush the competition. So I don't know how that fits into things. It's kind of, I don't know, weird. But Animal Crossing. And the Animal Crossing New Horizons, I will say this. Okay, so it is absolutely gorgeous. It is everything we've wanted visually from an Animal Crossing game. Initially, it had a lot of fun content and it had a lot of the staples that make the series fun. But it also kind of took its own path, and in some of those things are the reason why I eventually had Animal Crossing fatigue, which is an actual thing. You get to the point where you really want to keep playing, but you just can't. And one of those things, of course, is the freaking crafting system. I don't mind crafting things, but much like Breath of the Wild, which is why I didn't finish that game, yeah, hate on me all you want.
I didn't do it either.
Breaking.
I didn't do it either.
Weapons breaking, tools breaking. So in Animal Crossing, the same thing happens. Like you'll be in the middle of something and your tool will break. So you will see a couple of butterflies, and just as you grab the one butterfly, another really rare butterfly will show up. And as you grab the first finish that motion, what happens?
Net breaks.
Your net breaks. Yep.
Yeah.
And so you don't have any way of catching this really rare one, and yeah, so that happened quite often. Really, and then when it came to raising pumpkins, and having my watering can break all of the damn time, I started carrying around 3 watering cans, because granted, I had a huge pumpkin patch. There was like, I'd harvest like 110 plants at a time, and I would water them every day, so I was getting 3 pumpkins per plant. So I was prolific, and maybe a little obsessed with getting a lot of damn pumpkins. But Halloween is my favorite holiday, so I was, getting ready for that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Animal Crossing got me through. I really prefer New Leaf. And honestly, I'm starting to wish that they had instead made a hyped up version of New Leaf, like a port of New Leaf,
like a
because
remaster?
there's so much more going on in New Leaf. There's so much more multiplayer fun, and you can go to this island, and on the island there's all these exotic bugs and fun fish and sea creatures to catch, and there's also competitions, all different games that you can play while you're on the island, timed events and that sort of thing, like item hunts, and it's fun. The islands in Animal Crossing New Horizons are these randomized things. Well, supposedly randomized. I got so many junk islands, and I don't mean like the kind that have actual junk, which is a thing, but I mean just like nothing going on. And I feel like I wasted time and tickets, and the amount of time it takes to load up and open the gates and go someplace, it became a grind. So I still love Animal Crossing. I found myself jumping back to the 3DS to play a little New Leaf to kind of cleanse my palate, but Animal Crossing did honestly help me through the early parts of 2020. So I can't hate on it. I'm just a little fatigued by it, and the only new content that has me intrigued now is the Mario stuff that's just coming out, because that is kind of interactive. Like there's warp pipes. You can place 2 warp pipes, and you can travel from one part of your island to the other through the warp pipe. That's cool, and that's the kind of content they should have been doing. Instead of just random textures, and random items you can buy and just display, there should be a lot more interactive crap, and I'd be a lot happier. And bring back the Captain's Islands, man. Bring back the islands so I can play those events. Anyway, so that was a big one for me.
I will say, the funny thing about Animal Crossing is, it came out, I'll never forget, it came out on March 21st, which my birthday is March 22nd. And on my birthday, all of my friends, they're like, "What'd you get?" I'm like, "Oh, I got the game that came out yesterday that I've been waiting for. And they're all like, "You got Animal Crossing New Horizons?" I'm like, "No, I got Doom Eternal. What are you What?
Yeah, I kind of remember some of the games media kind of poking fun at those like back-to-back releases. That that was such a broad spectrum of every one's a hug.
Same day you have like Satan fighting Demon Man and cute little animals. Oh gosh, I played all the way through Doom Eternal like in a week. I love the Doom games.
Have you played any Animal Crossing?
A long time ago. My friend let me the GameCube one.
Oh yeah, okay. That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was actually awesome too. I liked the fact that you had the games console and you could get the random games for the classic system, play them within the game. Kind of like Shenmue. I like Shenmue. And the arcades and the Saturn. And the games you could play.
You want to talk about games within a games? One of my favorite video game Easter eggs of all time will always be in Uncharted 4. Where Nate and Elena, they're married, they're like sitting on the couch, they just ate dinner, and Nate's like, I'll do the dishes. And Elena's like, no, you did them last week. And Nate goes, I want to do the dishes. She goes, no, I got it tonight. And he goes, well, I'll play you for it. On your little game thing. Camera turns, it's a PlayStation 1.
Oh.
And you have to beat Elena's high score on her little game thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to beat Elena's high score, which it's a very high score, very impossible, of Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, cool. I did not know that. Hey, that's really nice, because that's something they can do. Much like Nintendo. They can reference themselves, and they can go to their back catalog, and that's really fun. I want to play Uncharted 4.
Honestly, I will never not suggest the Uncharted series to people. I
played the first couple, but I just didn't play after that, so...
Yeah. 1 and 2 were awesome. My favorite will always be 3. Something about 3 was just amazing. But 4 was a lot of fun. So
I think I started with 2 and then went back to 1. Because it was like super cheap and I liked 2 so much. I was like, oh, well, I missed the first one. Might as well go back and play it. But it impressed me with those dramatic, cinematic set pieces, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. The cinematics in the Uncharted games are absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just so gorgeous. Some of the views. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
That's sad.
I know. Anyway, no, some of the views, like, there's a mission in 4 where you're in Scotland, and you're trying to find the tomb of an old pirate. In Scotland. It's the weirdest thing. Trying to find an old tomb at the Chapel of St. Dismas in Scotland, and there's a part where you can just look off into the cliffs. It's the most gorgeous scene in a video game. Like, there's snow on the ground, you got a coat on, like, it starts to build up on your shoulders. Oh my gosh, I cannot gush about the Uncharted games enough.
But you're going to have to not. Because I need you to tell me about your next game that kind of helped you make it through your next bowl of chowder, or whatever it was. That was the comfort.
To be perfectly honest, I got the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, which is the first 3 games remastered, and I've been trying to beat my time on those a lot.
You're saying that so you can continue to talk about Uncharted. I know it. You are seen.
No, I did get that. I got it, and I've been playing that a lot.
I believe you.
No, the game, I will say this, and this is going to sound kind of cliche, but the one that has really, really helped me through the most, throughout all of quarantine, is Minecraft.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because specifically Bedrock Edition, and I know there are the Java Edition purists who are like, you play Bedrock? Yeah, of course I play Bedrock. The multiplayer is free and it's easy. So, but no, because Minecraft is one of the few games where you can play with somebody on a PC, on an iPhone, on a Xbox, on a PlayStation. It is completely cross-compatible. And it's so nice.
I remember I have fond memories of my kids playing Minecraft, or a group of them getting together here and on their iPads, or sometimes the school iPads. But whatever. It's a great game. And I would love the squeals of delight and horror as one of them says, "You burned down my house. I'm sorry." They're evil. They're evil little children. But
the 3 of us who work on the channel, me, Miles, and Carson, actually on Sunday we took down the Ender Dragon, and it was a very triumphant achievement for us. Yes.
I took down my underwear. That was
all right. Well, this has been great. If you guys enjoyed this video,
but you haven't begun to enjoy it. I'm not wearing pants. No.
Sit down.
God, I keep banging my big freaking melon head. But yeah, Minecraft's a great game.
But no, yeah, like we've been playing Minecraft a lot. Like we've started like various challenge worlds. I a few weeks ago actually built my friends an escape room in Minecraft, which
What?
that was a fun little side project of mine that took a couple weeks. Using like redstone wiring and mechanics and everything else, I built an actual fully functioning escape room.
That's really cool. I will say that I don't know if it's because it's you I'm talking to or what, but like when you said that, for some reason, I immediately thought like sex dungeon, not escape room. Not, I don't know why. I was thinking gimp mask and people hanging, in, suspension and like.
In Minecraft. In
Minecraft. Why not? I mean, people are building all kinds of stuff in Minecraft.
Right? Like, come on.
Anyway, well, on that note, let me. I'm gonna hit up the next game. So,
Sure.
Yeah. So, Animal Crossing fatigue being a real thing. God, this is what's kept me from doing YouTube videos. Damn it. Anyway, because I'm kind of losing my voice too, but I'll make it through. Damn it, I will make it through. So I actually discovered this game by way of a Nintendo Life YouTube video on it, and it was kind of like, it was almost like a quick little like, okay, I've just discovered this. Let me quick record some of this while I'm talking about this discovery. And it was Alex from Nintendo Life. Do you know Alex from Nintendo Life? Do you watch any of their videos?
No, I do not.
Hello there, lovely people. Alex from Nintendo Life here, Goblins Bits. That's enough waffling. Let's get right into it. That's right. What are you doing?
Just like back up from the microphone a little bit before you do that
sorry.
next time. That was...
Damn it. Man, I'm almost dabbing, and that's not good. It's a dad dab.
That's right.
But, so this game is called A Short Hike, and it's an indie game that is far more than the sum of its parts. You could probably complete this game in a few hours, probably less. So the graphics on it are very lo-fi, and it's purposefully so. I even watched a developer video where he talked about it. I think it was at GDC, but I'm not sure. Where he talked about how he developed the game, why he did what he did. Did some very clever tricks. And so the game has this very simple, very playful look, very, pardon me, God bless America, a very lo-fi look. The audio is ethereal and beautiful and playful, and there's some charming little tunes. And basically the premise of the game is you are at kind of like a summer camp, and you have absolutely no cell reception, and you're expecting a call from a family member, so you have to get to the mountaintop, which is the only place that you can get a cell signal, and go. And how you get there...
That's a cute concept. I like that.
Yeah, and how you get there is completely up to you, and you can take your time and enjoy things. There's little mini games in the mix, and all kinds of NPCs to talk to. Lots of, there's little wildlife to interact with, little treasure hunts, lots of things to find, and you collect feathers that give you the ability to climb higher and higher, and you also can fly. Well, not fly, you can glide. And the gliding reminds me a lot of the glider stuff in... Give me a second, my brain just shut down. Pilot Wings 64, where you try to find the vents and the thermals, and that sort of thing. Now you don't really do that as much in that, but there's this wonderful... I mean, I would just climb way high up, as high as I could get, and just let loose and fly, because that was just so relaxing. It's so much fun, and it feels really good. So that game became my new Animal Crossing for a while. The replacement.
Similarly, this wasn't during 2020, but I used to on the GameCube have a copy of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, like the video game. And I had 2 save files, which one I went through and finished the game and everything else, but the saved right before you got to fly Buckbeak, and then I never saved that one. So at any time I wanted to, I could just load up that save file and just fly Buckbeak whenever I wanted to. I think I still have that save file somewhere of just about to fly Buckbeak because it was really fun.
You have to excuse me. I'm like having some sinus difficulties, and my voice is getting a little raspy. I might grab a soda from the box over there, but I wouldn't be out of frame for very long. And you could just keep talking and cover for me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is again why I don't do I haven't been making a lot of content lately. This is actually really good compared to how I have been. I've been to the point where I've sounded like I've been going through like a third or fourth puberty, and my voice was completely cracking or going away completely. But yeah, so that's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna let you start off. I'm gonna grab a soda really quickly, and I'm gonna let you start off on your next game, and lead into it. Just a minute.
I'll totally do that.
Or just Phil, stretch.
Yeah, I'm not gonna advertise my channel.
I'm gonna try to stay low because I'm not wearing pants. So.
Okay. Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, it's been a busy day for me. Got a new computer case. Gonna be transferring stuff over later. You know, it's gonna be nice and fun. Hey, go to TML. Oh, hey, I wasn't advertising my channel.
That's fine. No, that's fine. I wasn't completely surprised and caught off guard by the amount of sweat on my chair from not wearing pants.
All right. I was not needing to know that.
Well, just like people didn't need to know about your merch. I'm just kidding. Of course they need to know. Check out his... I'll even put a link to his store because I haven't launched my merch yet. That's disturbing.
No,
but anyway, it's sorry for all the... If there's like any gob noises or anything coming through, because I can't help it, man. I'm not... It's not perfect. It's not okay. It's not okay. Are you saying you can still hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Good. Okay. Just making sure.
I'm going to take a quick moment to just say, hey, yeah, I know, like, you said it, but, like, hey, link in the description below. Go check out our stuff. And
I just want to say, if it looks like I'm, like, distracted or whatever and not paying attention to what Sean's saying, I'm actually, like... So I got 3 screens here. I got the giant 60-inch 4K that has the actual video chat happening. I have... my screen in front of me that I'm trying to make sure that everything is working properly on my MacBook Pro, and I have my GH5 going over here, and I'm occasionally checking to make sure that that's still recording, that I still have space on the SD cards, and that the audio is still registering because I got a backup mic over there. So I'm not distracted in that fashion. I'm like a visual DJ or something, I guess. But.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Also, today, whenever this goes out, hopefully, if everything works out good, we have a video about what I'm currently playing, which is a video idea that I've been wanting to do called Under the Lamp. That should be coming out like the exact same time as this. So, when you're done here, just go click over there and check that out.
Is that like where you put people in your Minecraft sex dungeon and shine a light in their face and interrogate them?
That's just gonna be whatever. It's like, I don't want to answer the question.
I mean, that's a legitimate question.
Anyway, but no, so...
Oh, look, everybody, it's 1990s VR. But, are you hacking something?
I'm hacking into the mainframe.
Are you hacking something in a 90s cyberpunk movie?
That's right. But no, so yeah, go over, check out our channel. We got new shows. Like I said, at the same time as this, there should be a new show on our channel called Under the Lamp, which is a short little video where I just improv talking about whatever I'm playing right now. If you want to know why it's called Under the Lamp, go check it out, because I explain it on that video.
I think I did already.
Anyway, yeah, go check that out, and then also hit up, if you like our content, hit up our merch store, shop.spreadshirt.com/TML things.
Alrighty. So yeah, go and check that shit out I'll have it down below, not where I'm pantsless, but in the description.
How come every time we shoot a video together, it's just like whenever you point down, you mention it's like, yeah, down, not down there, but down there.
Because
every
people know
time.
me, and even if they don't, they probably kind of assume. But I mean, look at me. Yeah. So I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, and that people don't assume that I'm,
Wearing pants.
like wearing pants, or that I'm not trying to pimp my manhood instead of somebody else's channel. You never know.
You're trying to pimp my channel? I don't...
Yeah, absolutely. Bitch, where's my views? Where's my views?
I don't even gotta take the headphones off.
I have my views.
I gotta take the headphones off. I can just. There we go.
Oh, look, it's Sean unplugged.
I can't. Hold on, I can't hear a word you're saying. I'm back.
I said, look, it's Sean unplugged.
Acoustic?
MTV Sean unplugged. Do acoustic.
I can do that.
Are you wearing pants? What are you doing?
Getting ready for Sean Unplugged. Here we go.
Oh, good God Almighty. Check out Sean's other folk music channel if you have the opportunity.
Yeah, we only folk music or covers of Russian dance.
Whoa,
hits.
my camera did that thing again. Like I'm out of focus. That was so weird. I'm just sitting here and it went boom. That was very weird. Alrighty, anyway. There it did it again! Oh, what the hell's happening? Go ahead. Sorry. It shouldn't be doing that though.
So another game that has definitely helped out, and this is actually kind of fortuitous to bring it up now because this is the game that the video on our channel is going to be about, is Need for Speed Heat. Ooh. The newest Need for Speed title. I got that back in January, so this is less 2020, more 2021. But I've been playing it a lot. A, because it's cross-play compatible, so like I can play with my friends who have Xboxes, which is really, really nice having a PlayStation 4. But if you know me, and I'm pretty sure there is a video... yeah, the video on our channel, the last time we did a video together,
yeah,
that wasn't
top,
the podcast.
Top 5 racing game list. 10. Well, 5 each. We did our top 5 each, and comprising a top 10 list. That was really a parallel list.
Yeah.
Because it's your number 2, then my number 2. Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's a whole other channel.
So yeah, there's the worst 10 we've ever played on Geeks or the Creek here, and then there's the best 10 we've ever played over on the Major Losers.
As well as an outtakes video that is...
I'd like to point out that I edited a new channel trailer for our channel, and the proceeds to lose shit moment from the outtakes video made it into the channel trailer for a second time.
Yes! Yes! I'm inappropriate, and it works for me.
God, my grandmother watches this channel. She probably has no idea what we're talking about. Or she might be totally down.
Yeah. I mean, I still stand by that statement, but...
anyway, but no, on the best...
we just assume things of our relatives. We just assume things of our grandparents and stuff because they came from a different era. Man, I tell you what, 1700s, 1800s, early 1900s, doesn't matter when it was, everybody let their freak flag fly. Their freak flag fly. And the only difference is that they actually sewed their own at home. So...
Anyway,
I'm sorry,
on the 10 best racing games that was on our channel, my number 1 will always be Need for Speed Most Wanted, the old the 2005, 2006 Need for Speed games. I have missed those for so long. After Need for Speed Pro Street, the entire franchise just went downhill. And it didn't really come back to something I enjoyed playing until Need for Speed Payback. That was on PlayStation Plus like 6 months ago. I played the crap out of it. Great game. Need for Speed Heat is finally finally making me feel the same way I did about Need for Speed Most Wanted back in the day. The old 2005, not the reboot title. But yeah, Need for Speed Heat is freaking awesome, and it's crossplay compatible. I've been playing tag around the map with my friend Carson, the producer on the channel, and yeah, we've just been having a heck of a time. And then like buying, customizing cars and everything else. Like, I love those old Need for Speed games because like the crazy customization options, the crazy car list, and everything else. So just Need for Speed Heat is finally getting me nostalgic again.
Nice.
Which makes me very happy. So
that
I've
is
been playing the heck out of it.
So, and it's funny because actually on that same top 10 list, I had Need for Speed Most Wanted U on the Wii U. Because it was the definitive version of the game, man. I don't know.
Yeah, the 2015 reboot, or the 2013 reboot.
Yeah, 2013, yeah. And it was so, but dude, it was so good though. And it was the only console version of the game to use the textures from the high-res textures from the PC version. And it played smooth. It was built from the ground up for the Wii U, so it was optimized all to hell. The gamepad features were actually fun and useful. And really would invite somebody to want to sit there and use the gamepad and control all of those things. And even mess with you, you know, or whatever. But you could do things to distract the cops and make them leave you alone. You could swap cars on the fly, change night and day cycle, all kinds of stuff using the gamepad. But it's really cool. Anyway, sorry.
I will say,
I just wanted to mention that.
I will say this. I feel the way about that Need for Speed game that I do about like the new Teen Titans Go show. It's like the plot is funny, the characters are great. Like I love the whole thing. Why is it the Teen Titans?
Yeah.
You could have done that with any other property but the Teen Titans. And I feel the same way. Like, I'm sure it's a solid game, but why drag Most Wanted into it? I love Burnout Paradise. Burnout Paradise is one of my favorite games.
Don't you mean Need for Speed Most Wanted?
Yeah.
It's the same guys,
right.
the same open world premise, the same kind of customization of cars and that sort of thing.
But
it was like an expansion pack. I know.
Yeah.
And I like, well, look what I got.
Oh, the remastered edition.
Yeah. So I'm going to be playing that, but
yeah. Well,
I love racing. Racing games used to be my thing. Whether it was the arcade or at home, I was freaking king of racing games. Now I'm an old man now, and you know, well, I still love them. Yeah. I just won't be challenging anybody to races anymore.
Especially not me. Especially not drift races. Just
see, and that that hurts because it's probably true, but that was actually kind of I was into Initial D and some of those other arcade games. I used to go to the arcades in Chinatown and in Central Jersey and stuff like that, where they had Initial D, you know, and man, I was always up there, and I could take your money back then, but now not so much probably.
I will never one of my prize moments in a Need for Speed game was a Need for Speed Carbon, where it was just like, all right, your target drift score to get for this drift race is 35,000 points. This is an extremely hard drift race, so I wish you the best of luck. You have to get 35,000 drift points or more to win. I got 746,000.
Nice. Holy crap.
I might be a little good at drifting in video games.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if you ever came at me back in the 90s and early 2000s with any of the Daytona games, any of the Sega Model 2 or 3 racing games, your rallies, Scud Race, Indy, the Indy 500, all of those games I just freaking dominated on, and I just loved them. They were part of my reason for the love of the arcade. Pretty much all Sega Model 2 and 3 games brought me in. I mean, other people were like, "Oh, look at Tekken." I'm like, "Oh, you mean not as good Virtual Fighter?" Sure, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's neat. But yeah, and
Um,
I know people will fight me on that, but whatever. Wait, what did I just do there unintentionally? Talking about fighting games, then they're gonna fight me.
hey. I've been playing Soul Calibur 6
Took you on a
like
journey.
nonstop for the last 4 days because I picked it up like 4 days ago.
Oh, and
And
my face when I first played Soul Calibur on the launch day of the Dreamcast. Oh my god, that game
my
is storied. It's beautiful.
I have the GameCube copy of Soul Calibur 2, which I played that thing so much it stopped working.
Oh, what?
Had to-
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Damn.
I played the crap out of Soul Calibur 2 because the two versions of Soul Calibur 2 was like the PlayStation copy you got, it was Hitachi from Tekken.
I think so.
I think it was Hitachi, and that was cool.
My
I had the
memory's
PS2
not so
version.
good no more because I'm old. But
I had the PS2 version, but I liked the GameCube version more because the PlayStation version's guest was Hitachi, the GameCube version's guest was Link from Legend of Zelda, and it was so fun and so cool. Exactly. Could you back up from the microphone when you do that? All right. Well, this is now an ASMR podcast.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Silky smooth. I'll let you. I just looked over and I saw that on my GH5, at least one of the cards is almost full. So I'm going to move forward a little bit. I'm not sure what that means or which card filled up first or what's happening, but I don't see two red cards, so that's good. But
How long have you been recording for?
57 minutes.
Oh wow.
And that includes like the banter and crap from before we actually went forward with the intro. So
True.
So I'm going to move on to another one, and this one is a delightful. Now you need to get you some Switch action because this simple, delightful, absolutely charming game it was a stealth drop after one of the directs that weren't directs or whatever you want to call it. One of the updates videos and it's part-time UFO. And yeah, well, and it's this very. It almost has like a Kirby aesthetic or a Yoshi's Woolly World kind of very hand-drawn, very cute, very like maybe 16-bit, maybe late generation 8-bit kind of a look to it. The music is fun until you hear it for like an hour straight, but the gameplay, you basically play as a UFO machine, a claw machine, and you are given different objectives within each level that you have to the way you stack, how many things you stack, the order in which you stack them. You have to take the objects and stack them using the claw, and it has this like swingy physics thing. Like everything is like very animated and has heft to it. So when you put something down on top, you can see it like move the stack. And there's another stacking. I forget what it was called. Man, I'm gonna kick myself. But it was a. It started out as an eShop game on. I think it started on the Wii U because I know there's a version on the Switch too, where I think it's called Zen something or other. Anyway, where you have to stack different shapes, and that game has a lot in common because like you have X's and O's and spheres and cones and blocks and stuff like that you have to find a way to stack so that they don't tumble. And this game kind of takes that and turns it very 2D because that was in 3D. This turns it 2D and very like hand-drawn, 8-bit, 16-bit, whatever. And it is so much fun. It's so relaxing. You need to turn the music down a little bit at some point because it's almost like carnival music or something. It's very playful and fun, but it's not something you can listen to for extended periods without at least turning it down. If you turn it down and it's in the background, that's better.
Yeah. I will say...
I'm okay.
Okay. I will say I just realized something a little bit in the background of my face cam here.
Speed Racer.
Right there, I'm pointing at it.
Uh huh.
That's Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005.
Oh, okay, cool.
I didn't realize that it was in the background. I actually picked that up. That is, it wasn't like a comfort game that I played during quarantine, but it was a great bargain find that I got during quarantine. So that's a copy of Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005 for the Xbox 360, which is rare. So it's part of the Platinum Hits collection, and EA was set to put out they were gonna do increments of 10 games every few months on the Platinum Hits collection until they put out the update where that made the Xbox 360 backwards compatible. And a few games made it, I think I also have an Assassin's Creed copy with the Platinum Hits, a few other things like that. I have Platinum Hits Lego Star Wars. But EA was going to put out the old Need for Speed games, one every release of the Platinum Hits collection, starting with Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. And not even halfway through the production, EA changed their mind and pulled all of the Need for Speed games. So the Platinum Hits copy of Need for Speed Most Wanted only got a third of the production that it was supposed to, and you can find a copy of it on eBay for $174. It is crazy rare.
Wait, what was that for? 360?
Xbox 360, yeah.
I'll have to take a look through my 360 games. Because, like I said, I used to love racing games. I still do, but I mean, I used to be good at them too. So who knows if I even own that. I own a lot of freaking rare games.
I found that, though, at a secondhand store in a place that for $34.
Nice.
$34
That's
for
awesome.
a $174 game. This is like my brother is playing a PlayStation 2 game that my dad has had for years, called Monster Rancher 3.
I love Monster Rancher.
Well, 3 specifically is extremely hard to get a hold of right now, and there are copies of it going for $500.
You know, this you know what? This is going to be a completely different video. We need to talk about this kind of thing because I still have a few of the Funcoland pricing guides from when I worked at Funcoland, and these games that you're talking about, and 8-bit, 16-bit games. You used to be able to pick up a copy of Little Samson for $5 or something like that.
Yeah.
And now it goes for thousands or whatever. So it's hurtful. And this was as late as the late 90s. So ouch, just ouch. But I'm going to do something real quick that.
Yes.
Sorry everybody, I'm going to do something real quick that I forgot to do at the beginning because I haven't done this in a long time. I'm going to do a little clap for sync, for audio sync, since I'm going to be using a separate camera. So, and 3, 2, 1, mark, and mark. So there we go. I'm good. I just clapped 2 games together. Oh, look, it's I got Everspace and I got Ghostbusters game is a lot of fun. This one's wrapped, but I had the digital first because I didn't know there was going to be a physical, which pisses me off when they do that. But anyway, so we're at about an hour now, so I think I'm gonna speed things up a little bit, wind it down, speed things up a little bit. I just want to say I played a lot of Shanghai games. You know what that is? Like the Mahjong matching tile games.
Mm-hmm.
And in particular, I busted out the Super Nintendo to play those 16-bit versions because they were my favorite. Well, actually, the Saturn was my favorite, but I haven't broken out my Saturn yet because I'm waiting on the stupid Poly Mega, which isn't coming. And Pixel Junk Eden 1 and 2. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of them. I think from you, but I've heard of them.
So these games originally started out. So have you heard of Pixel Junk Monsters and the Pixel Junk? Yeah. So the whole series of games, they started out as PlayStation 3 exclusives, And you might hear some sounds here because my dog decided that he's going to run up and down the stairs, then drink water loudly outside the studio door. And he's probably going to go outside afterwards to urinate. So that will be the dog door making loud sounds. Maybe they'll even use that as the way to sync sound. Who knows? Because it's going to be loud if he does it.
I will say this. You'll probably get a good sync from my end because somebody just got home and the door just...
Oh, so. Yeah. Well, these ethereal games, it's really hard to describe, and I'm probably going to edit in some video of them and some audio or whatever. But the soundtrack is actually absolutely amazing. It's this kind of like, how to put it? It's electronica. It's very low-key, like chill vibe electronic music, and for both of them. And very... I don't know, it just, like, it's the kind of thing that just, like, sinks my mind. It sinks my brain perfectly. And you play as this little... I forget all the names of the different things within the game, because I guess it didn't really matter to me. Sorry, developers. But what mattered to me was the gameplay. And you basically have this little, like, flea-like thing that you... So everything has a kind of a cut paper look to it, an animated cut paper look. And... stuff grows and flourishes as you're moving around, and you flick yourself, your little flea-like creature, off of the edge, and you twirl yourself around, and you try to collect these things that open up these other things. It's so hard to describe this. It's so hard. But basically, you have to get to this glowing symbol that is the source of all things in the level. You have to get up to that, and in order to do that, you have to build and climb and collect things to build these other little plants that grow up and allow you to get higher. You have a time limit, and that's the only thing I don't really like about it. Both, especially the second one. But first one's my favorite. If you haven't checked it out, check out Pixel Junk Eden. It may be even available on other platforms now. I only ever played it on the PlayStation 3, but it's a wonderful chill game. Paper Mario, the Origami King. A lot of people hate on this game, but it is a beautiful game with a beautiful story. It is not the best of the Paper Mario series, but at the same time, it was the game that we needed. It was another one of those games that we needed in 2020 that just came at the right time. And last on my list, there are so many, but last on my list of actual games was Pumpkin Jack. Now, this is a one-man show. It was a Halloween-themed game. It plays a lot like Medieval from the original PlayStation. And it has that classic 90s 3D platformer vibe. So well done. I mean, it's not a perfect game, but it is so well done that you look past its flaws. And there's a lot of challenge. It's not always an easy game. But the music is fantastic. The graphics, the art style is fantastic. And when I found out that it was a one-man band. This is one person made this game. That is, it really is a AAA quality title that has that PS1 vibe. Maybe PS2, but it really reminds me of Medieval. So I immediately think back, even though there's been remakes and remasters, I really think back to the PS1, the first one. But
I just picked up a remaster for the PS4 the other day.
Oh yeah. It's a great game. Medieval was a great game. I remember seeing that at an E3, and it was awesome.
I never fully played. I never played the full game. I had a PlayStation 2 demo disc that I got at a consignment shop up north. Like right after I got my PlayStation. Right after I got my PlayStation 2, I got this PS2 demo disc up north at a consignment shop, and it had a demo for Medieval, and again, played the crap out of the demo. Never actually hunted down the full game, which is why I almost bought the remastered edition.
It is a brilliant game, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, so Pumpkin Jack scratched that itch. I mean, I haven't had a game like that played as closely to that had the same vibe, and was at the same time a very Halloween game. That helped me through Halloween of 2020. That was to the autumn that time. I can't remember when exactly it came out, but it would have made my list of my top 10 of Halloween games had I been able to make one this year. Anyway.
I want to bring up two more things real quick before we wind down.
Yeah.
First of all, like you talking about how video game soundtracks and everything else. I'm not trying to bring it back to this, but whenever I think of video game music, there's one video game that always comes to mind if you're looking for great orchestrated video game music, and that is
Mr. Do.
Uncharted 3.
Oh, sorry.
Uncharted 3, though, has one of the greatest theme songs in movies, TV shows, video games of all time. Uncharted 3's theme song.
Huh.
That was because my dad got the first Uncharted game, played it, I played it, got the second one, he played it, then I played it, third one same way. Every single time there was a new Uncharted game, there was like months in between. And I remember the second time, Uncharted 2, when like sitting there with the loading screen, you see the little knife twirling, that's the loading screen, and then you just hear the drums kicking, the bump 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 bump, and it is, and then the horns come on, and it just every single time that theme song plays, it just gets you ready. Like, it is the most invigorating theme song for a video game, and it's really, really interesting because 4 doesn't actually play the theme song.
Wow.
And so, it's purposeful, like, because 4 is a lot darker than the other games in a lot of ways, because it deals with, Nate is growing out of his, the previous games and what he was doing in the previous games, and he's being dragged back into it. So he's not, like, he's excited for it, but he's not, like, where he was.
Okay.
And it's really interesting the way that they use the music. It reminds me a lot of Casino Royale, how they don't actually play the Bond theme song until the very end of the movie. Like, you get little glimpses of it here and there the more he does little Bond moments, but you don't actually hear it until the very end. So yeah, if you're ever looking for just great video game music, Uncharted is spectacular. And then the last game I wanted to bring up, which is, the game, like you said, games we needed in 2020, 2021. One that me and my friends really got into, blew up out of nowhere, Among Us.
I was about to say Among Us. Yeah, when you said blew up out of nowhere, I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, Among Us, so much fun. I've gotten some great big brain imposter plays in my time. Like, it was awesome. One of my favorite ones, I pulled a oh my gosh, he killed right in front of me. when I was the one who killed, he pushed the button, like, he's trying to self-report, he killed right in front of me.
Oh my.
And of course, Miles is sitting there going, no, you killed in front of me. And it was like 3 people left. I'm the only imposter. We're just like, I'm looking at my friend Alex. I'm like, who are you gonna believe, Alex? Me?
So that game is actually so successful that so I've been playing during quarantine. One of the things that's kept me going is playing game nights. We have game nights, like Jackbox and that sort of thing.
Oh, I
and
love Jackbox.
The most recent Jackbox iteration has a game called Push the Button, and it is exactly that. It is a game where you are on a ship and you have to figure out who the imposter is, who the alien is. So look it up. It's remarkably similar. Now you could say you could play devil's advocate and say, oh well, it's one of those things where people have the same kind of concept and idea at the same time, and but I probably wouldn't buy that. But
no, me neither.
But it is so well. It is its own take. It's so well developed, and it has so many other things going on that to develop that kind of game, unless there was like crunch for a year or something, it probably been in development for a while. But then again, like you said, Among Us has actually been around for a while, and it only recently blew up. So
yeah, wasn't it like 2017, 2018?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I thought 2017, something. Yeah. So yeah, and one of these days we have to get together and play Among Us. I haven't played a lot of it
For real.
because a lot of my friends.
I invited. We have an Among Us with the Boys server. I don't know if I invited you.
No, I don't think so.
I'll have to reinvite you to that.
Okay, sounds good.
But yeah.
I know one night you told me you were playing, but I was otherwise occupied.
Yeah.
But
Well,
so before we wrap things up, I want to say you give me yet another, you inspired yet another idea for. So I want to talk about in future episodes of the podcast. I want to talk about the retro gaming scene, and we could talk about what we're playing from the retro gaming scene, and then talk about the ridiculousness of the price bubble, which is just absolutely asinine. And much like scalpers, they like to blame the pandemic for artificially inflating. No, human beings artificially inflate. So don't use excuses like that. But before, I'm not going to get I'm not going to digress on that. But and then two, also video game music, because when you were talking about that, I was thinking about all the games that I remember and growing, not growing up, but during the rise of my true passion for gaming, which now is retro gaming because I'm old. But I was there for the launch of the Genesis, the launch of the SNES, Sega CD, Sega Saturn, PS1. Everything from actually everything from Pong forward. I've been around for because I'm old. But when we hit 16-bit, that's when, there was people look back retroactively and say, listen to this great 8-bit soundtrack, but we gotta be honest with ourselves, and like people are like, yeah, this is on my MP3 player, this is on my playlist, and like, bullshit, you are not listening to 8-bit tunes, man. Don't even try to tell me that you're sitting there listening to the first Castlevania game soundtrack, unless it's like an orchestral version of it.
I have to disagree. Chemical Plant Zone.
Look,
Chemical Plant Zone from Sonic 2 has been on my phone for many a year.
Okay, but that was what I was about to say, is that they start with 8-bit, but 16-bit is where gaming music actually became this thing where I could see myself live this, and then maybe, chiptunes now, like Anamanaguchi. I love that, but
bless you.
I couldn't listen to. I don't think I could listen to any 8-bit games for an extended period of time. I could listen to my favorite parts of them. I could listen to some of the favorite themes like once, but I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to be driving around in my car listening to it. However, I could drive around in my car and listen to Final Fantasy on the Super Nintendo or the Sonic games or
Chemical Plant Zone
or freaking. I could rock the fuck out of some Streets of Rage. Oh my god, those techno tunes, Yuzo Koshiro. Anyway, so I digress. But this, as you can see, this could definitely be a whole other podcast,
totally,
and it will. There's, and it will
yes,
be.
for sure. I literally, the moment you said that you want to do another video about it, my brain was like, Uncharted, Batman Arkham Knight. It's like all of these games where I'm like, oh, the soundtrack is perfect,
and that's why. See, this is what happens. I lose my damn voice, or I start out like this. But and that's what's so wonderful about this is that you're thinking of these things like this, and I'm thinking of flipping Chrono Trigger and Lunar, the Silver Star on the Sega CD, and the soundtrack to Panzer Dragoon Saga on the Saturn. So we'll be pulling from so many different sources, and it'll be great to kind of break this down, and we'll see what we can do about actually playing little snippets or something during the podcast. Mm-hmm. Not like I haven't had enough technical issues just making this happen. So let's add an additional media source because, that's fun. It's cool. It's fine. Everything's fine. It'll be fine.
Everything's good.
Everything's good.
Okay.
Silky smooth. Cold 45.
No, I was going to make a joke, but now we're just going to pull the microphone right away from my face because I'm not going to follow that with anything.
So I'm going to wrap it up now, but I also wanted to point out a fact that this also has renewed. It's kind of brought back some. It afforded me the opportunity to break out the Wii U and to lament its demise and to realize that there's whole other podcast because the Wii U is a system where I can play my Wii games, I can play my Wii U games. I can play all of these amazing virtual console games, eShop games, and indie games that are available through the Wii U eShop and virtual console. I also have all of the games that I purchased on my Wii from the Wii Virtual Console and some of those eShop exclusives and the WiiWare games. And so when we're talking about everything from Game Boy Advance to TurboGrafx, I mean, there are so many games on that one system that I could live off of that system. If someone asked me one system to take to a deserted island with me, that would be it, because I could play all of the games from 8-bit to the Wii U. So anyway, but the pandemic gave me the it's 5 o'clock. I don't know if you can hear that. They say it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm here to tell you,
it's 5 o'clock right here.
It's here.
It's right here. Yeah.
This is where it's happening.
5 a.m.
No. What?
Yep. 5 a.m.
No. We have. So I live in a small enough town that we still have a 5 o'clock whistle, like Fred Flintstone style. I'm expecting him to come sliding down the back of his brontosaurus and yabba dabba doo. But it's the 5 o'clock, because we had major blue collar industrial factories and stuff in town here, and almost all of them are closed now. But we had warehouses and factories and different manufacturers and stuff, and that's almost all gone, sadly. But that's the 5 o'clock whistle, man. And there's a noon one too.
Here where we live, there's the siren goes off every day at 6 p.m.
Wow, 6. Wow, that's a longer workday there.
Apparently, I mean, a town that to this day only has 1,000 people. It's kind of.
Wow, yeah, no, our town's bigger than that. And actually, this town used to be jumping and bumping. I mean, it had, they had a theater, they had a fancy hotel, they had not a general store, but like a department store with multiple levels. This town, I'm not going to mention the name, but this town actually was built on the back of the tobacco trade, and it was a go-to destination for arts and culture. We even had artists here that did lots of pottery and clay and stuff like that. We had famous writers here. So yeah, pretty much giving away where I live. But anyway, I will
say this. I will say this about where I live. Again, not going to say the town, but being I'm a huge car guy. I love racing games. The first car that rolled through my township here was a race car.
Oh, cool.
Which was
nice.
I found that out from my fourth grade math teacher. He was telling us, he took us for a walk all around town. It was the greatest thing to be able to live in a small enough town that my fourth grade math teacher could just one day go, let's go for a walk, and take the whole class up on the hill, a couple blocks away from the school, and give us a
scene again. It does, dude. Does that not sound like the start of a horror film or something like that?
It does, kind of. It does. But
Let's
no,
go
and
for a walk.
Well, no, it was part of we had a whole history week going on, and it was really, really nice. He took us up on the hill, and he told us everything. He's like, that place used to be an old pharmacy with a little ice cream parlor in the back. I used to go there with my family.
No,
he was talking about
cool.
how
our property. This used to be a creamery.
Really?
At one point, yeah, and I don't know what part of it. This might have been the people who lived in the creamery or owned it or whatever. But whatever. This town has a lot of, and I agree with you. It's really cool to be able to do that. Wow, we just totally went. Took a big left turn there.
Yeah.
But all because of that damn whistle, that damn Fred Flintstone whistle.
Gosh, that is something I don't want to give away where I live, but I want to do a whole podcast episode about just the crazy stuff in my hometown's history and everything. But I also don't want to give away where that is.
Right. No, I get that. I kind of feel the same way. So anyway, 2020 is behind us now. 2021.
Yes. Moving forward.
2021, I think, was like Lucy in the Charlie Brown comics, where it's here's hope, psych, and just took the football away.
You can't just say that while I'm drinking.
Oh, man. Sorry. That's 2020. That's 2020
in a nutshell. That's very accurate. Very accurate.
I was
Gosh, dang.
everybody's like, yeah, 2021, we made it, and then Lucy took the ball away. But and I ran for a long distance and kicked as hard as I could at that ball too, man. I ended up on my back. But yeah. Or the other favorite one, maybe it was almost more like when she covered a large lump of hard soil with leaves, so it looked like a leaf pile, and Charlie Brown went running and Arg! That's what I did too. Like after as 20. What the? Look at this. This is what I'm talking about.
What just happened?
I don't know. I just did I just shift between dimensions for a second? This is what I'm talking about. Camera, stop being a dick. You know, it's like, what? Yay! Why don't I just buy stuff? Why don't I just buy stuff to improve the quality of everything and hope that it works, and then it doesn't? Because that's good. Son of a bitch. Logitech, do better. So yeah. Anyway, 2021 made me say arg.
Same.
But so we made it through, and those are some of the games that we got to enjoy that helped us through the pandemic, the lockdown. Along with, the occasional gaming with friends and binging of movies and TV shows and that sort of thing. These games were our comfort food. We're our bowl of chili with oyster crackers or that clam chowder.
Stop it. Stop it.
But it just warm, fuzzy feelings and big, like a short hike, I would say, is a big hug. That game is a big hug. That's how I describe it. In an upcoming video, which I hopefully will be able to edit and add the voiceover to. Anyway, so, but I digress. Anyway, so, are you frozen, or are you just... Sean, are you still there? Are you there?
I'm here.
You're like frozen with like this funny smirk on your face. I don't even know what's happening. You almost look like
you're frozen and you sound like Megatron, so...
That's great. I wonder what's happening. Is it? Oh, you know what? It's 5 o'clock, so everybody came home from work and has decided, oh my God. Yeah, my signal just dropped. I don't even know why. I'm looking at the signal, and it's just Discord too, because my other stuff is fine. Can you still hear me?
I can't understand what you're saying there, Starscream.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I guess that's our cue to leave. So, as always, it's been great having Sean with us, and maybe we'll be able to disconnect and reconnect and just finish this up properly. But if not, whoa!
Oh, you're back.
You're back.
You're back. So are you.
Here we go. Video connected, and I got all the bars again. I mean, you look kind of like
weird,
pixelated, but yeah, I don't know what happened because otherwise everything is fine here, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, same.
But anyway, while we still have a signal, let me just say, it's been great having Sean on the very first episode of What Are You Playing Now? And that's really effervescent and YouTubery. I'm starting to get all like, what's going on with everything, man? So our tech is sick of our shit, and we've been going for too long. So it's time.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
You bet.
Thanks for having me, man.
And we'll say what we always say: peace, peace. Put up them deuces, bruh. Peace,
peace.
Love, and Nintendo. I don't even have do I have a hat? I don't even have anything to boop the poop. Shout out, I'll just boop. We out. Thanks, man. It was good having you on. Until next time.
Yeah. No.
And let's hope this all recorded, because I'll be really pissed if an hour and a half of video isn't there.
Right.
Alrighty, we're done.